What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how to toggle on and off the password on the client side. So not on the back end, but on the client side. So this usually happens when you have a password and confirm password on a register page. Okay, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to show you my screen and minimize myself. And first off, we have here is a Vite project. It's just basic bare bones project, nothing special, with the H1 that says form. And we have the CSS and the app.css. So the very first step we're going to do with this is we're going to create a form with inputs. So we're going to have a form syntax HTML, and then inside this form we're going to have a label, and we're going to have the first one saying email. Then we're going to have an input with the type of email, and we're going to have a placeholder too, so we could tell the difference between all the inputs. And this is a self-closing tab. So as you can see here, the email is right here with the label. We're just going to copy and paste this down 2 times. And the next one's going to be password. And the next one will be confirm password. So like I said, you see this a lot when you're registering on a website, that you have to confirm the password that you typed. And I don't know about you, but myself, sometimes when I confirm password, I feel like I typed it in wrong from my original password, and I would like to see if I'm doing it right or wrong. So that's why we're going to have this toggle where you could toggle and see the password, and then you could toggle back off to make sure it's hidden. This just makes the user experience a lot better. Let's also change the types, and we're going to change these as well later to be dynamic based on what the user is doing. But for now, we're just going to have password and then placeholder, password, and confirm password. And then we might as well just add a button real quick, even though we are not going to use this button at all because we don't care to submit the form or not. But we might as well just have it just to make it look nicer. And I already created a CSS class called form. And it's pretty simple. It's just a flex column and then a gap of 1 rem. And as you can see, there it is. So it kind of looks like a form now. So the next step is we're going to import React icons, which I already have up here, into our project. And the way you do this is you have to install the package. You could look up the docs too. You could just type in on Google React icons, and the docs are pretty easy and straightforward to follow. But you should go in your terminal and press npm install react-icons and then enter. And then to make sure it is installed, you could just go to your package JSON and you see React icons as a dependency. You don't want it as a dev dependency, you do want it as a dependency. So make sure you don't do a capital D when you're installing it from the npm package. So we have that installed, and the 2 icons we are going to use is we're going to use a closed eye, and then we're going to use an open eye. So the open eye will be for when the password is shown to the user and they can see what they're typing. And the closed eye is going to show the password with like the dots. So it's like hidden. So the 2 that we need to import are AI fill eye invisible. That's a tongue twister. And then AI fill eye. And this is from React icons, and it's /AI because that's the folder it's in inside of React icons. So now just the next step we need to do is we need to implement these icons inside of our form. Okay, so before I get started, I'm just going to clean up my code a little bit. I'm going to put some comments here just so you could easier read the code. So this is going to be the email section. And then we are going to go below that input, and this is going to be the password section. And then we're going to have a confirm password section. Okay. Let me just space everything out. Cool. And then button. Okay, so now under each input, we're going to have a div, only in the password and confirm password section. And then inside of this div, this is where we're going to have those icons. So I'm going to have a div, and then I'm going to have another div down here. And before we do this and go forward, we have to think about what we're doing here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have state, because every time they click it, the state is going to change. So we're going to go up to the top and we should import use state from React. So there we go. So we're set there. And now the first thing we should do is we should probably create some state up here above the return. So that's what we're going to do now. And we're going to need 2 pieces of state, okay? We're going to need one for the password, and then we're going to need one for the confirm password. Because if you only have one state and you click on the confirm password, it's going to toggle the password and confirm password. So you need 2 separate states for this. So the first one we could do is we could do password I, because we're going to call these eyes. That's what the icon looks like, and set password I. Okay, equals use state, and this use state this is going to be a false, because it's going to be a boolean, because we're going to see if it's true or false, if it's clicked or not. And then we could just copy and paste this one down, and this could be confirm password I, and then set confirm password I. And that's going to be set as false as well. That means they're not clicked. That's how we're going to look at it. So now we're going to need actually 2 functions, which is still above the return. And this function is going to be, we're going to do a comment, and this function is going to be for the password I. And we're going to handle it. So we might as well put handle. And then below this, we're going to have a function. So we can name this anything we want. So we're going to put handle password I, and this, or no, handle password click. And when you name functions, you want to name them to something that you're actually doing, so it's easier to go back in your code and see what's actually happening. So what we want to do is every time it's clicked, we want to change it from false to true or true to false. So the easiest way to do this is we're going to set the password I, and we're going to set this to the opposite of password I. So that's all that function is doing. Very straightforward. And then what we could do is we could copy and paste this down again. Handle confirm password I. We're going to have to change the function name. So handle confirm password I. And it's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be confirm password. And it's going to be set to the opposite of confirm password I. Okay, so there's our 2 functions with our state. Now we can start going into the JSX and actually start implementing the UI on the front end. Okay, so now I want to actually put the icons, the invisible eye and the open eye, on the form, and I want to put it right here in the corner of the inputs. That's where it usually happens, and that's what most people do. You can put this wherever you want, but you do have to play around with the CSS a little bit, but I already did that so we could hurry up and speed up the process of this video so you actually know what you're doing. So the next thing we have to do is we have to go inside of this div, and we have to make a class for this, and we're going to call it password-section. And a very important thing you have to do before doing this too is in the form class name that covers this whole form, make sure your CSS has a position of relative, because for these divs with icons, we need a position of absolute to actually move the icons around. So we are going to put the first one in, which is an invisible eye, and we could just do self-closing tag, and as you can see, it's already there. But I'm going to go in my app CSS and I will comment this out. And this is how it'll probably look for you when you first do it. So like I said, you have to have a position of absolute, and then the top and right positions, you just got to play around with trial and error. So I already did that for you before even recording. So that's why it's perfectly pretty much aligned where I want it to be. Even no matter how I move the page, as you can see, it's still in that input spot. So the next thing we need to add to this invisible eye is an onClick. And the good thing is we already created the functions for this onClick. So the function we want to use inside of the onClick is the handle password click. Perfect. And now if we click it, it doesn't do anything, but state is technically getting changed from true to false in the backend, okay? So the thing we have to do is when we click it, we want to show something else. So obviously what we want to show is we want a ternary operator. So if it's true, we show this I. If it's true, we show the other I, blah, blah, same thing. So inside of this div, we're going to start creating a ternary operator with dynamic syntax right here. So we're going to say password I. If the password I equals false, which is our initial value, we're going to do a question mark, which means we're going to show this. So if it's false, we are going to show the invisible I, right? If it's not false, then we're just going to show the other I, which is the AI fill. And this is going to have on click as well. And it's going to be the same on click, handle password click. The reason for this is because we only want to change this input. Okay, so that does that. And all it does, it changes the I. As you can see, it crosses out, it doesn't cross out. So that's just one part pretty much of this two-step process of how to actually get this working, okay? So what we could do here is we could just go to the confirm password section and we could do the same thing. You could copy and paste this down, which we will. And then you just got to change a few things because it is a different input. So we got to make sure we do that. So we're going to go inside the div again. We're going to copy and paste. And as you can see, the I is there. And then instead of handle password click, it's handle confirm password click. Handle confirm password click. And this is going to be the confirm password I. And there's not a capital C. Okay. So as you can see here, you have the I here. We need a, it works, but we need to actually put it here as well. So you definitely got to play around the CSS a little bit and make sure it's in the right spot. That's what I'm going to do right now real quick. Okay, so after messing around with the CSS for a few times, here's what I have. So in the div, we had to give this a class name. That's going to be for the confirm password section. And that is going to be the div for the two icons. Okay. So we named a confirm password section. And in the app CSS, we have a position of absolute, bottom of 55 pixels, and a right of 10 pixels. And as you can see, both of them work, and they work individually as unique units in a sense. Okay, so if we type, you see how it's shown as a password because it's hidden, but if we click it, it doesn't work. And the way we are going to do this is we have to change the type on the input to be dynamic. So the way we do that is we have to go inside of the input. The first one we're going to do is the password. So I'm going to type in some stuff here, and it's hidden, but we can't see what we typed. So that's a problem, and we want to make it better. So inside of the password section, inside of type, we have to do curly braces. So we're going to erase that, and we're going to do curly braces. The code's going to break, which is fine. We're just going to break it for a quick second. And we're going to say if the password I equals false, which is what initially it is, we are going to have a type of password. This has to be in a string. And then we're going to do an else. It's going to be type of text. So text means you can see the text, and password means it's going to be hidden. So right now it's true, false, true, false. So now everything works on the password at least. Now we have to do the confirm password. So we could just copy the type what we did here and change a few things as well. So copy, go to the confirm password section where it says input type, paste this in, and we just got to change this to confirm password I. We type, it shows that's hidden, bang. And obviously if you want to go further down, which we're not going to do in this tutorial, is you can make sure the passwords match, and if they don't match, you show an error. And there's multiple ways to do everything in React, as most people know, but this is just a very simple way on how to actually showcase pretty much a better UI experience for the user when they're registering on your form. I really hope this video has helped you a lot. If not, comment down below something I could do better. And if you do like it, please hit that subscribe button. Also give this a like because that would push it out to more people as well. And if you do want to watch more tutorials, my channel has plenty of them and I'm going to keep uploading every week multiple times. So thank you guys for watching and hope you guys have a good day.